Hello, welcome to my stream. My name is Anthony. I'll be your designated artist for today. And right now, I don't have any music on right now because I want to make sure that I can actually reach out and talk to you today for a little bit. So, probably for like the first 5 minutes, I'll be sure to just sit there and talk to you and just make sure that I ease you in on what it is I'm actually doing here. Let's see here. This web browser chat. Okay, so I have to sign in on the chat, which is okay. But let's see here. If I go to live here, I can always just check. Oh, yep, there I am, live. Bam. So I can just interact and talk to you here. So let's see. Here, checking now. Make sure I can hear myself. Let's go ahead and do this. Get small. All right. You're checking now. Make sure I can hear myself. Alrighty. Let's see here. I am going to go ahead and turn up this audio. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Gotta make sure that everything is right. Gotta check and make sure everything is right. We got going on. Anyways, hello. Welcome to my stream. I'm glad that you're here. Right now, I'm just getting everything all prepared, set up, make sure that you can hear me live right now. Gotta make sure that everything is right. Gotta check and make sure everything is right. We got going on. Anyways, hello, welcome to my stream. I'm glad that you're here. Right now, I'm just getting everything all prepared, set up, make sure that you can hear me live right now. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, we are live. Please be sure if you happen to like what you see, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm also going to say it here too as well. Let's see. So yeah, we are live. Please be sure if you happen to like what you see, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm also going to say it here too as well. Okay, first one of the chat, which will be mine. There we go, because I am narcissistic. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's play something here right now. So now we can go ahead and get that started. Let's see. Which will be mine. There we go, because I am narcissistic. Anyways, let's see. Hold on. Let's go ahead and turn this up. Hey, Chris, I'm streaming right now. Yeah, I'm here. It, just to let you know, I am streaming right now. No, on the computer. No, not yet. It's just me on my own page. So I'm just. Well, here, let me go ahead and move this mic out the way real quick. Yeah. Oh, what's going on, bro? So I'm just. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they can hear you on the stream right now. My bad. I'm over here making it all live. Uh, anyways, man, yeah, we gotta make sure that you know. Oh wow. Yeah, I just heard all that on the stream. if I could. Could I actually mute this?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, we gotta make sure that Oh wow. Yeah, I just heard all that on screen. Okay. Uh, okay. I wonder if I could. Could I actually mute this?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you very much for coming on by. I really truly appreciate it. I'm pretty sure I'm really sad that she had to hear some real world news coming from my channel. But anyways, like I said, what I'm doing here, I'm gonna be for the first probably hour and a half. Yeah, for the first hour and a half, I'm gonna go through and I'm going to be doing all my old school kid drawings. I'm gonna be bringing them to life here in ZBrush. What I'm doing here, I'm gonna be for the first probably hour and a half. Yeah, for the first hour and a half, I'm gonna go through and I'm going to be doing all my old school kid drawings. I'm gonna be bringing them to life here in ZBrush. All right. So let's see here. So right now, what I'm currently working on is the sandals, and I'll show you the character that I've actually worked on. So that way, I can give you some context of who I'm actually, working on. So basically, I'm working on this old idea that I had when I was a kid called the Haizuraki Chronicles, and it was it's basically like well, no, that's nothing like Naruto. There's like a whole different context with all these warriors and stuff. So basically, it is like an old like storybook kind of like show where that's just saying it shows the renditions of like warriors and stuff actually in epic battles. So as you can see, this is the character I'm working on. And the next one I'm gonna work on is gonna be a guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this up. So this is the character. Just getting all the basically just getting all the blocked out details and stuff done. So let me go ahead and show you. Boom. Hello, welcome to my stream. I'm glad that you are here. So be sure that if you like what you see, be sure that you like, subscribe, and go from there. So this is something that I made when I was like 18 years old, because me and my brother, we used to love talking about this show a whole lot. It's called the Haizuraki Chronicles, and basically it's about these element warriors that can do all these crazy powers and stuff. Sort of like, okay, well, like Naruto, but with a different twist on them. So that's as far as I'll go far as that as far as that show goes. So right now I'm currently working on a character. She's from the Mirror Village, and basically she does like a whole bunch of reflective type of abilities and stuff, which makes her like a really good assassin type. Her name is Shiku Shikoya, and basically yeah, she you know uses like all these different types of swords and daggers and stuff to basically get close to her opponents and stuff. It's gonna be a real cool show once we get it started. So like I should say, right now I'm like basically just blocking out everything and just getting it all going. So this is the form that I got. Let's see. And let me go ahead and get it off transparent, because right now I'm trying to figure out a material I could use to make it feel like an actual, cartoon thing. But I think for now I'm just gonna keep it like this and just keep it blocked out and simple. So let's see here. We got that. We got the sandals, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna block out the swords, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move on to the next character afterwards. Because blocking out normally just generally like takes like probably like 5 to 10 minutes of time or whatnot, and well, not 5 to 10 minutes for most other artists. It's just saying it's gonna take a long time because a lot of artists. Oh, how can I put it? We have to make like bodies and all that stuff. But for me, I was smart and I ended up making a body kit so that way I can just get these done really fast, really quick. Let's see. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Let's see. So for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and just cue it right here. We're gonna hit it, that zero mesh. Let's see. So that way you can kind of see what I'm doing. I wonder if I can actually move. Oh no, I can't move this during stream. Okay, no, never mind. It's already set in spot. Never mind. I can't show you what I'm doing as far as like the button layouts and stuff go, but I will show you all this stuff right here. Let's see here. So here we go.
Did you hear me?
Well, Yeah, what's going on? Oh, well, right now I'm streaming right now, so if you have anything super duper important to say, I would just wait. Hold on. Let me go ahead. I'll get right back to you. Hold on. So there we go. Well, yeah, what's going on? Oh, well, right now I'm streaming right now, so if you have anything super duper important to say, I would just wait. Hold on. Let me go ahead. I'll get right back to you. Hold on. Well, right now I'm streaming. Alrighty. Okay, so sorry about that. Or actually, no, I'm not sorry. I had some real important stuff to discuss. So now that I'm back, yeah. So right now, I'm basically going through and drawing these. I'm gonna be doing this for the next hour and a half. Just basically just drawing a bunch of these characters and stuff, and pretty much going from there. So right now, I'm just gonna just do the rest of the block out of this character, as you can see. So I'll show you the block out of what I'm doing. So I'm just doing this because this is from my childhood drawing. So I could go through and I could just basically change up what I have right here as well. So in that way, it doesn't replicate too much. Because what this is gonna end up being a cartoon. I'm gonna have to end up drawing it and all that stuff and doing color frames and from the 3D to this as well, especially with rendering and all that stuff as well. So uh, yeah. So right now I'm going through, I'm blocking out all this whole area right here, and we're gonna go ahead. Ooh, no, let's not do that. We're gonna take the masking brush, freehand. There we go. Take the masking brush. Okay. So yeah, this is technically what I am doing right now. Let's go ahead and we'll add this vest right here. Time. One thing that's beautiful about masking, I know that there's this designer called Marvelous Designer, but this right here always does the trick too as well. When you actually mask off and get the things that you actually want, you can do it that way too as well. I love masking, especially here in ZBrush, because all you got to do is just once when you get the full block out initial of your actual outfit that you want, then all you got to do is just draw out the shapes from the mask, sharpen it up as you can see, like so, and then you take the freaking take go over here to the side. It's the extract button that's on the side, whatnot. But you just go through and you just get the exact size that you want, and then boom, armor. And you press accept, like so. Hit that. We'll hit that delete hidden. All right. So now we got that. Let's go ahead and look at our character design that we have here, as you can see. So I'm gonna move it over so you can see. So what we're doing, we're creating this vest right here. So in that way, when we get done, we won't need this actual, dress shape. It's gonna just be, good for just basically blocking out shapes and designs of dresses that you actually want, which is actually gonna be pretty cool. So that being said, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna make the sleeves, and then I'm gonna make the parts of the dress. So in that way, it can have the parts in between. So in that way, when you go, whenever you're, because this is like stuff that you do for like animation and all that stuff, you have to make them in parts and pieces. So in that way, people can actually see exactly what it is, or if you work with a huge team, they'll see exactly how you can basically, go through and make those animations move and possibly go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take these sleeves right here. Go ahead and because what we're gonna do, because even though this is my old school kid drawing, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna extract again. This time I'm gonna make it a little less thick. I did 0.4 last time, but now I'm gonna do 0.2. So that way you're gonna see a huge difference right there. So you'll see the seam actually connect right there as well. Press accept. You're like, ooh, wow, ooh la la. Go ahead and do that. Delete that. And we'll go through, even this out like so. Boom. Hello, welcome to my stream. Thank you for coming on by. Uh, right now, I am currently making a bunch of. I'm basically doing a bunch of parts for this character right now. So, if you like what you see, please be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and also, just let's go from there. I'm gonna start playing some music soon, so I do have music lined up. It's just I have to make sure it's royalty free because if I try to play anything that's not royalty free, then we're gonna really be in trouble, and then my stream won't count, and then they'll be like, "Ha ha, we got you, sucker! We got you!" Just go from there. So I definitely don't want to. I definitely don't want to do that. So, anyways, let's go ahead. We're gonna go to the geometry tab, and we're gonna press delete hidden, and we're gonna sit there. We're gonna just boom, just like that. So now what I did, if you're looking at this right now, well, you are looking at this. I'm sure saying if. Godly. I'm so new to this. I'm so new to this stream. I did it like 4 months ago, but like I try to sound as technical as possible. But basically, you go through. You have to delete the inner edges because you're not going to see what's on the inside of that character. Because if you try to animate with the inside, or if you try to rig anything with that, right? So say if well, I'll get to that in a sec. But when you try to go through and you rig and all that stuff, give me 1 second. Hold on. So if you go through and you try to actually rig a character while having inside polygons, you have to go through and paint the weights on the inside of that polygon. So what by doing what you saw there, that eliminates that from actually ever happening. So there we go. And we'll just leave that like that for now. So remember what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve actual breakaway jacket, so that way you can see the inside of the armor and all that stuff as well. And I'll show you that in a sec. So right now I'm going to be working on doing the sleeve part, which is going to be this part right here, to where we're going to put the buttons and stuff right there. So let's see. I'll go ahead and just minimize that. So now we saw that. We're going to go ahead and going to add that detail right here, right now. So we're going to go ahead and take this. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're going to just simply draw it out. So like I should said, I was explaining to the other person that was here today that normally when you go through and make clothes designs and stuff, a lot of people use Marvelous Designer and all that stuff to achieve looks that they want for the character and all that stuff. But for me, I try to just do the masking, because masking also achieves the exact same thing in a very quick result. I've been at this for like, I would say 10 years, just learning how to do the ins and outs of ZBrush and all that stuff. So a lot of the stuff that I do here, just it's like second nature to me, because I know I've used Marvelous Designer before. I'm not a big fan of it because once when it wraps around and all that stuff, like I'm not sure if it has. Well, the only thing that I noticed that it doesn't have masking function to be able to get the design clothes that you want. They just be like, here, draw seams here, draw seams there, and then afterwards, done. you know. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna extract this right here, and we are going to simply press accept. All right, cool. So now we got this part right here. I'm thinking, no, what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, because in the long run, you'll see in a minute, we have to make this seam right here. So I'm going to go ahead and going to use a box rectangle. Like so now that we're going to have that thing right here. And what we're going to do, we're going to get it real close, but it's not going to be like to where it's going to touch, because what we can do, we'll take it into Maya and then, close the gaps that way. And it'll be real good for using for making the rig and stuff. So let's go ahead and extract that one more time. Press accept. We're going to go on the inside, zoom out. There we go. And bada bing, bada boom. We're simply go through and clean up those edges like so. So now we got that done. Boom, right? We're gonna simply go over here. Well, you can't see it because I got it set to where, but I normally delete anything hidden on the other side. And then I simply go right here, press 1, and technically speaking, I'm using ZRemesher because ZRemesher helps out with, doing quick typology and all that good old jazz. And I'm just gonna hit it one more time. So 1 seems to be a little too much, so I'll do 0.5. There we go. I'll make it a lot more easier. Boom. Okay, and we'll do the same thing here, but before we do that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish off that design real quick. Just keep on blocking out. So I'll hold this here. Oh, oops. Sometimes the way Compen it can think on its own. Let's go ahead and we're going to extract. So press accept. All right, thank you very much for coming by my stream. If you please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And also, thank you very much for still being here after 36 minutes. I truly appreciate it. We are 36 minutes in, and time does fly by. I can't believe how fast time just goes. It is freaking amazing how fast time goes. So we're going to go ahead and we'll take this here. So, and we're going to simply delete the hidden because we know for a fact that you can go through and make this just a little thicker if you need to. Oh no, hold on. Okay, so Control C. I'm just gonna make these and just do that. Just leave that there for now. Let's see. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna just add this here. Oh, before we do though, because what happens is if you happen to do anything extra, if there's an extra mask right there and you go to try to extract it out, it's gonna do its thing. So we're gonna go through here. We're simply gonna just press extract. And we'll put this to 0.01. That extract. Actually, hold on. So that way it leaves us that nice detail for the cartoon shape and stuff, especially when we go to, get it rigged up and animated and stuff. Pretty much go from there. So we'll just leave that there for now. Now we're going to work on the part dress as well. Be sure to eliminate because you don't want any extra. There we go. To the reference. There we go, because we're going to still try to make that part that goes right here as well. Alright. bada boom. Let's just take this right here, extract it out, boom, and then we're gonna hit the delete hidden. Right, and there it is. We got that part. So now that we got the zipper cuff part, we're gonna also get the zipper cuff part here as well. So just take that rectangle, make a real thin line right there. Boom. No, that's too thick. I don't want that thick. Let's see. There we go. That should be good right there. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to where are you at? Oh, we're going to extract. Put 0.0009. Extract. We're going to press accept. Now that you'll see that we have two parts in here. Just simply go right here. D out. Boom. Done. Alright. We're going to go ahead and we're going to simply just press delete hidden. So now that we got that done, we'll leave that be. We're going to take that part and we're going to make that middle part right here now. So that way we now the dress will be breakable and breakawayable and all that stuff, and go from there. Boom. That. This part there. Right. Got our full-on design dress done, almost, just about. We're gonna take that dress right there. Take 0.007, and then we're just gonna hit that thing again and press accept. So now it's gonna be 2 inches deeper from the last part that we actually placed in here, and you'll be able to see the difference. There we go. We're gonna eliminate. And we're going to simply just delete hidden. Alright, so now that it is done, that is done and done. Go right here, I'll show you what I mean. So say if, like I should have said, and this is for animation purposes as well, especially breaking away, you know, animation styles of dress. So we have the armor underneath here as well that I was talking to you about. So you have this armor. We got our sandals. All I gotta do now is just do the little wood block sandals on there, and then we're gonna call this character done and blocked out for now. So in that way, you know for a fact that you got what you want, you got what you need, you know what I'm saying, and you got another character just about done. And we're gonna move on to the next one. We're gonna do a guy character afterwards. So let's see. And also, for the new viewers that came through today, thank you for coming by and checking out this channel. This is really awesome. I know I haven't been on here for a minute. The last time I was on here was like 4 months ago, and I had just so much other stuff in between, just going haywire and crazy. But I'm here now, and I think I'm gonna try to start streaming at least every day. So in that way, we can, you know, we can definitely go from there. So yeah, that's the Under Armour underneath. So that's pretty much what we're trying to achieve by making the breakaway dress and all that stuff as well. So now that we got all that done, you can go right here to that dress, that same dress body. It's underneath there. I did start to extract. These are all going to be their own pieces, and we're going to have to go through and zero mesh them all afterwards. But in the meantime, what we can do is add just the little details if you want. This is what I call it, just like small details. Like, we don't have to worry about too much about it. It's just, we're just gonna just do that, you know, those little the zip part things right there, and I'm gonna just add the holsters, and then we're gonna move on to the next character. All right, so now we got that established and set aside. And also remember, I don't care what anybody says, if a program crashes on you, because it normally does, be sure to save, because saves lives and it saves production time. Because say you work 8 hours in and you're like, yes, this is perfect, this is perfect. ZBrush has a way of just always crashing. It doesn't matter any time of day. It just straight says, I'm gonna crash on you. That's it. You're done. Just reopen me and I'll have a quick save ready for you at that spot. You know. So right now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add those buttons. There we go. Gonna make those harden like so. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take that value up 0.5 so you can see it. We're gonna hit the extract and we're gonna press accept. I don't want that there. And we're not gonna see what's behind there. So now that we got rid of everything that we didn't want and need there, we're gonna simply press delete hidden. First one. And before we hit that zero mesher, we're gonna smooth these out. We're gonna smooth those out. There it is. Nice and smoothed out. So yes, I know AI is a huge thing. Yes, it is. And it can work to your benefit somewhat because it tries to just take over everything that you're doing. You know, that's just what AI does. You know, it's like, oh, I think I know exactly what you want. And then it just goes hard and straight says, I'm gonna make it move for you. All right, and we're gonna have all these details. It's gonna look like this. You know, we're just gonna make it happen, and that's that. You know, and that's pretty much what AI will do for you. As for me, it's, you know, if you want to be real specific and you have a specific vision in mind, draw it out yourself. Because um, if you try to use AI to make your vision and it's nowhere near what you want, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get what you want. Trust me. Trust and believe me. You know, it tries to do like quick automated sounds and stuff. And, you know, it goes from there and tries to get you what you need. But for some people it works, some people it just don't. And that's only if you're using just the free version of AIs. But I think if you pay money for the other type of AI, you know, where it'll actually do something for you, it should work. But for me, my AI experience when I use some of it, I ain't gonna lie, because I have my own artwork. I decided to throw it in there to see how it would work, and it does make it move like very fluently. So I will say that it will make it move fluently, but it was using my art to do so. So, you know, now I'm just sitting over here just drawing this out because since I know how to do that stuff, I will show you guys a little later on, like how I actually, you know, do animations and all that stuff. But where am I? Extract. We're gonna hit that extract button and press accept. Ooh wee. There we go. We're gonna do the same thing like before. Extract. Here we go. Got those buttons. And then we're gonna press delete hidden. And for now, we're gonna go ahead and end it off on this. I promised you I was gonna make a sword hilt, so I'll do that in a sec. Let's go like this, like so. Dang, I have not played any music right now. My bad. I just get to being Mr. Chatty McChat Chat. And I'll forget to play some music. So if you want some music, just leave a comment in the live stream. I can actually see it, and I'll be sure to play you some. I can only play I'll just play some deep house music because deep house music is soothing. I'm not even gonna lie, especially doing, you know, stuff like this as well. Like deep house music is normally always the way to go. I don't care what anybody says, it really is. Alright, so do that. And we're going to simply press delete hidden. And we're like the actual design on the sandals, so we'll just leave that there. Get rid of that. And this is also the fastest way to, you know, get the designs that you actually truly want as well. bump up that thickness. So we'll see exactly. Yep, that's how it's gonna look underneath. But before we do, boom. Just take that there. Break it out. You're not gonna see nothing underneath there. And let's see. Take that, and what we're going to do, use deformation, and go ahead and not offset in the X. Actually, we're gonna do the offset, the size in the Y, and just stretch it down just like that. And we got us a nice little blocked out samurai female sandal shoes. Just like back in the day. Like so. And then, so we got that part. So to make the hilt, I know I'm lazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm lazy with it. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna do it in really quick. We're just gonna take the X. We're gonna make the sword hilt right here. Here we go. Because we can always just simply go into Maya and just make the sword and then just go from there. But for design aesthetics and purposes, I'm just gonna just do it right here. Press extract. I should say okay. And what we're gonna do, we'll just pull this out like so. You're not gonna see what's on the inside. I'm not worried about that. Matter of fact, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just, I'll do it another day. We'll take it into, we'll take the character into Maya, and we'll make the sword hilt from there. So for now, we got the design that we want for the first character here. I'm gonna simply go ahead and I'm going to delete this because we're not gonna need it for now. All right. So for now, we got the design that we want. Got the hilts, the hilt feet. We got the dress. We went through and we did all those extras on there, which I find was actually pretty awesome. And now we're going to move on to the guy. We're gonna move on to the guy. All right. So we're simply going through right now. I'm turning off everything. The good thing about my characters is that they are kind of Kendallish, so you don't have to worry about seeing nudity. You ain't gotta worry about seeing nudity. There we go. I'm gonna copy. And we're gonna copy again. Let's see. Turn those off. One of these eyes are gonna go to the other side. Gonna mirror. Okay, so now for our guy character. Next one over. It's gonna be this guy right here. I drew him half face from a long time ago, but he's basically like what we would call a real bad guy. His name is Teitachi Pinko. He's a shadow villager, so he uses like a lot of different shadow techniques and stuff. So basically, uh, he's real tricky and real manipulative, real like a real serious bad guy. So for now, let's go ahead. We're gonna just look at his design real quick. We know that he's got the sharp angled eyes. He's got his nose. He's got that weird goated beard. He's got the Heihachi, the Heihachi hairstyle, which we're gonna pull off, and it's gonna be pretty funny when we do it. He's got this nice little kimono jacket thing going on right here, especially with the kimono slit. So what we're going to do, we're going to make him, a little bit big, and we're going to just add just the muscle group. So This is what I mean by, like, when I had, like, character designs already set and ready, I made sure to just draw the different size portions because all of us as humans, we all have different portions. So I'm pretty sure you know that. But if you don't know, now you know. We're going to go ahead. We're going to give him that jaw. We're going to give him that. Oh my goodness, it's square. It's square and it's angular. It's sharp. You know what I'm saying? Give him that real bad guy sharp angle, you know, thing. Thin out his lips. Like so. Give him that nose. Give him those sharp angled eyes. Pull it forward because remember at the end of this it's gonna be for a cartoon, but you can actually use the means of 3D to make the cartoon come to life, which is cool. So right now that's exactly what I'm doing, and of course you're gonna have to always have the backgrounds and stuff, but I wanted to go ahead and just do two characters in here in ZBrush to show. There we go. Boom. Go ahead and we'll give them that crown right there. Because remember, when it comes to characters, especially cartoon characters, you don't have to be realistic with it because at the end of the day, you're going to be just drawing colored matte on top of them all after. So let's see here. Let's go to design. There we go. I'm going to try to get that angle of eyeballs in that way. And the reason why I'm leaving it like this, of course, is so in that way you can see exactly, like, that you can achieve the exact same character, eyeball style, and square eye. Especially when you go to, put rigs in there to get them to move. So, the one other thing that we do have to do first and foremost, we do have to do the process of elimination. Let's see. Let's go here. His chin is angular, so that. By the way, thanks a lot for sticking around. We just made it to our first hour and we did it without any music. So I truly appreciate you guys actually being around here. This is actually giving me motivation. It's really helping me out. So I truly appreciate that. Let's see. Go ahead. Do that there. That there. So next, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take off these eyeballs for now. All right, and this is how we work with polygons and all that stuff too as well. So what you're seeing are the actual visible lines of polygons, and this is probably the most easiest way to actually get inside of a mouth and eliminate all that stuff. So we take the mask, like so. Take the mask underneath here. Let's see. I think we're all good there. And we're going to go here. Go underneath the eyelid. Move around. Try to get as much of it as possible. Like so. So if you happen to be subscribed to my channel already, thank you very much for actually staying around and watching me too as well. Because I didn't even consider that. I actually had 210 actual subscribers too as well. So if you like what you're seeing, please be sure to share with your friends and all that stuff too as well. Especially if they're interested in, doing art or game art and all that kind of stuff as well. Oh, if they're interested in doing that kind of stuff as well. But there we go. Or making animation. Oh crap. There we go. If they're interested in making that kind of stuff, they'll probably be able to see exactly how to, go through and make stuff happen. See here. Just gonna clean that up there like so. And gonna go through here to polygroups. We're gonna go ahead and do from masking. So now you'll see that from the masking, it's different from each part. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just take the purple face away. Now you'll see that there's circle eye slots there, and that's what you want, especially for making a riggable character. Yeah, since this has already got multiple levels, you take it down to 1, or you can go to 2, and you can just let's see. Yeah, we'll take it down to 1. It's still gonna serve the same purpose. Go here. You find what you want to keep. So actually, hold on. Let's look. You know what? That is close enough. That should work. I'm not gonna need anything else. I think we're gonna be good. And we're just gonna simply press delete hidden. And now you can just take it up to your higher level. And all you gotta do, because what people don't know won't hurt them. You just simply just move this to the back, because you don't need all, like I should say, you won't need all those polygons for doing eyes and stuff. And then you just go through and you just start to make your brush small and just move it all around. Just like so. Because I'm pretty sure if you guys ran across a lot of tutorials and stuff, they always tell you like, oh, do this, do that, but they never tell you to, if you want a riggable character, you gotta get rid of the eyeballs and all this technical stuff, and you know, they always just be like, oh, just draw it in, and then you just use Blender, and you know, you'll be able to just rig it all at the same time, and that's something that you really don't want, because you want your eyeballs to be able to move around freely. Also, especially when it comes to doing the rigging and all that stuff as well. So, let's see. There we go. Pull that back. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna just add those eyeballs. So now we'll see, like, okay, I need to make sure that it wraps around. Nobody's gonna see all that craziness I did to it. Because it's gonna be hidden behind the eyeballs. And you're all good now. Oh, it's all good. We're all clean now. We're all clean. We ain't gotta worry about nothing now. Alright. Just like that vampire off of that movie Sinners. Oh, no worry, no worry. He all good now. He all good. He's all better now. I'm not sure if y'all saw that movie Sinners or not, but that was a really good movie. I really like that movie. Let's see. There we go. So now that we got that done, we'll turn off transparency. Go from there. And now we're just gonna make that sharp eyeball angle. Just from before. Smooth it out, like so. There we go. Does a quick save for you, so just in case if it decides it wants to be all like, I'm gonna crash on you, you have it all set and ready. thing about a lot of the animes and stuff is that they don't, some of them they'll go through and then they don't ever add that eyeline ridge. So, but mine, I'm gonna just add the eyeline ridge. That way we know that, this is where his eyeballs actually connect from the bridge, from the eyebrow bridge. There we go. Take this, push in. So there we go. And this is how you will go through and make a lot of your anime characters too as well. Just give them that hard line, and you'll see the animated character look or cartoon look that you're going for. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and take it up another level. Oh, yep, take it up another level. And if we want, we'll just use this brush right here, the damn standard brush. And if need be, cut those lines in there. Cut them in, cut them in. There we go. And just soften it up real quick. And just leave it be, because remember, at the end of the day, all we're going to be doing is just blocking out how this character is going to look, because you're going to end up, like I should say, you're going to end up taking it into another program and then basically, going from there. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put group visible. So now he's going to be going full color again. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at our reference. There we go. Okay, so, all right. Oop. Go to the side, just like how we did last time. Now you can see we have that nice sharp angle. All right, he's an old dude, so we'll go through and we'll draw in those wrinkles and all that stuff. But he's got the long neck. We got the portion in there. So right now we're keeping them in T-pose, because when you go to animate them, that's what we're gonna actually have. So we're gonna do that. Let's see. So now we're going to make his design extremely simple. He has this headband, but I think I'm gonna do away with the handband, and I'm gonna just put it on his jacket. Put the insignia of where he comes from on his jacket, and then go from there. Because at first, I ain't gonna lie to you, when we were growing up, when we watched that show Naruto, we were inspired by all the cool moves and all the crazy animations and stuff that they had on there. You know what I'm saying? And like, man, that would be awesome to be able to do like crazy cool moves and stuff like that as well. And we used to talk about a lot, practice like all the animation stuff, and really feel like the characters and all that stuff too as well. So just add some subtleties right there. So that way we can make him look like that old, that old creep warrior. Alright. And what we're going to do, we'll just be sure that we use the damn standard brush. And we're going to give him some nostrils. Smooth it out. I mean, if you really want to go detailed with the wrinkles and stuff, you just give him crow's feet too. We'll just give him that whole look. Remember, all we're doing right now, we're just achieving just a block out, and that's it. We're not doing anything else. We're not adding too many details or all that good old stuff. And of course, we got to make sure we get the ears. So of course, we're gonna go through. Of course, we're gonna make those ears. We already got the shape that we want. Just carve that in. And we'll take it up from 1 to 8. Alright. There we go. I add the muscles. So, alrighty, an hour and 10 minutes in so far. We are not doing too bad. We'll go through and just add that in there as well. And just leave that just like that, because whenever you're seeing fight scenes and all that stuff, you're not gonna really see the ears and everything. So now we got that. And look, reference. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off by giving them those eyebrows. We're gonna give them those. I think I want to give them those thick eyebrows. Thick, fat, mean old man looking eyebrows. Well, that should work right there. Let's see. We're gonna go through and we're going to extract. Simply hit extract and then press accept. Because remember, right now, all we're doing is just blocking it out. And since it's a cartoon, we don't have to worry about too much details with the hair and all that stuff. Yep. There we go. So I'll do the fork hair a little later. Take this, eliminate that. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna press delete hidden. And we're going to go ahead and give him that beard. So it's like a weird goat beard, kinda. Yeah. Where it tapers off and all that good old stuff. So we're gonna just first we'll get rid of the extra mask. We're gonna take the hair right there and just block it out. Boom. Oh snap. Damn, this dude's gonna have a beard. Yeah, so this is my secret to like how I always tackle everything. So that way I'm not jumping from program to program being like, I need this, I need that. Oh my god. So one thing about pipelines that you guys should know is that you really want to keep it as very simple as possible and just try to do as much details as you can with that, with what you have. So I like to use the mask brush. So what's cool about these beards and stuff is that they're also animatable too. It's just the way how you have to do them. There's one. I'll show you that secret one day, but that's if you guys will still be around on my channel, of course. But let's go ahead and take this down right here. And what we're going to simply do, we're going to just press extract. And we're going to say accept. And he's got his chin guard. his hair. And we see it's, you know, real rough and patchy right here, and he's got the hair right there, jagged and all that good old stuff. So we'll just simply just block it out. Just a quick little block out. That way we understand, you know, this guy's got the, he's got that jaggedy beard. There we go. And there it is. And to change the design aesthetic, because I was the original artist that did do all those old school drawings from back in the day, I'll just add that little bit of extra right there. We'll go underneath there. And take it and we'll just add those. Like so. We'll leave it be just like that. Boom. Done. Done, simple, easy. Let's see. Let's go back to ref. Alright. So now I need to draw the other hair coming out. So before I do, I'm going to go ahead and just add those little jaggies. And let's make sure we delete hidden. And we did. Take our hairbrush size. Boom. Add those jaggies. So now we're going to look at our hair design one more time. He's got this real gnarly thing going on. The ball cue ball at the top. Like just like Hidachi. Just draw the shape again. You're like, oh my goodness, how did he do this? He's a madman, I tell you, a freaking madman. I'm not. I just practically, she said, it took me like 10 years to get to this point. To be able to draw and get all this stuff done as quickly as possible. Let's see, it seems like we spent like, what, 20 minutes on this character, and we already got to this point right here, which is good. Yes, we did. We got to this point right here. Go ahead and just leave it like that. Got that crazy balding. Oop. There we go. And what we will do now, we're going to go ahead and hit the extract. We're going to press accept. Button there. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we got a whole new hair set. Press delete. And now what we do, just pull this out like so. That. And we're going to look at our reference one more time. Alright. And what we're going to do, we're just, like I should say, we're just going to block it out. It's not going to be just, you know, this is not the one all be all. This is just for the look. There we go. Just down like so. Alright. Okay, let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and start getting some music ready. this point, this is just all about just getting the look, an aesthetic look that you want. Get it as close as you can, because it's just saying in the long run, it'll look pretty awesome. See here. All right. So please do me that favor. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and if you have friends, please bring them to this channel. That if they like doing art or like seeing other people do art, please be sure to bring them here to this channel. I truly appreciate it very much. More subs we get, the better off we're gonna be, especially for doing real cool stuff as well. So, see here. Take this like this. For now, we'll just leave it just like this. Take the ZRemesher and turn that off. And there you go. Such a nice solid cartoon hair looking shape. Same thing here. Hit that ZRemesh. That cartoon shape there. Again, one more time. Hit it with that same ZRemesh. Alright, now we'll go down to 0.2. There we go. Alright, so now, yeah, he's a buff dude underneath. So what we're gonna do, take this character. Now we got the details done for that, Just make them a little wider. Right there. Boom. Add a little extra fat to them, because after all, they are warriors and they do run. But this guy, he's nobody to mess with, or he's nobody to trifle with. He ain't old for no reason, because in warrior times, if you're an old man and you're still living with a swinging a sword, you were a dangerous guy. You're a very dangerous guy. Or female, for that matter. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and take this clip. Standard brush. Take it down a notch. Go through. Oh no. Hold on now. Hold on. Take this. Oh, come on. No, I don't want that. Hold on. Let's get off this tube brush, because I don't use tubes. And we'll just do a quick little block out of his body. So quick little block out. Maybe in the anime you'll see how ripped or shredded they are and all that stuff, and we'll go from there. Like I just said, them old dudes that be on the show that be knowing some stuff, they They the most dangerous ones, you know what I mean? Anyways. You know? And that buff looks on that way, you know, he ain't no average old dude that you're fighting. He's on that. I stay buff. That's it. That's all it is in life. I stay buff. That's it. Oh, alrighty. Just leave that there, like so. So now we got a nice buff dude. He's ready to go. And remember all those portions and stuff that I had from before. I already had those landmarks ready just in case. There we go. And it's always good to study and practice your anatomy. I had to do that a lot when I was in school. Anatomy was a huge thing. And if you didn't do it right, then everybody, even the other students, would try to scold you. Portion is not right here. You need to make it a little longer there. Or if there's not enough muscle there, why does it look like that? Do you know what you're drawing? Do you know how much portions and muscles is actually there? Because if you don't, then it's gonna look weird. It's gonna look wonky. And it's like you look at all these other cartoons and stuff, and people just sit there and enjoy them. No anatomy involved. And they're like, man, this is such an awesome show. But yet they want to, when you're a student going through college, like Art Institute and all that stuff, like they want to tell you, if your portions aren't right, that means the character's not going to work right. It means it's not going to function well. It's like, well, if you know all the bones and portions and where your characters is going to actually look and go, then it's a whole different ballpark. We'll just give him that balls right there. Let's see. There we go. There we go. There. Buffalo dude. We got him. We got him. Okay, so now, before I start drawing his actual, metal and suit of armor and all that stuff, well, his actual kimono and all this stuff, I'm going to draw his armor first. So, since he's a shadow warrior and he has to move fast, his armor has to be agile. So, that's what we're going to make first. Before we go, let's just make sure that everything's eliminated. We have no extra shadowing stuff. Boom, there we go. Bada bing. And this is before we draw the kimono. Alright, let's go ahead. Ooh, ooh, popping of the bones. That's how you know you're getting all day. An hour and a half, we already got all this done. Jeez Louise, we going too hard, cuz. If you must know, I am African American descent, so I can say cuz. But I'm not going to because I'm not gang affiliated. It's such a bad habit to have. I don't see how those dudes always kept saying, "What's up, cuz? Wow, blood?" All that stuff all the time in the back in the day. I guess it would make for great content. if if you're into like Boys in the Hood and all that stuff. But I watched all those old school movies and stuff back in the day, and they really sensationalized the crap out of freaking gangster life. They sensationalized it, but if you really sit back and look at all that stuff, that is probably one of the most depressing lives that you can ever have. Sure, you'll have friends and stuff here and there, but I mean, you gotta dodge bullets, run from people. Freaking, if you end up on the wrong street, on the wrong side of the tracks, they trying to kill you for wearing the wrong color. I'm like, man, oh, and what makes it even more sadder is the fact that it's the colors of the United States. That's why they always say Crip was for blue and Bloods was for reds, like Republicans and Democrats and stuff. That's a whole nother beast for another time. I might make another channel that's just politically charged like that, just to start to have people see that kind of stuff. But for now, like I just said, we're just gonna keep it to this art. I can be a little random at times, so I gotta make sure I control that. So, let's see here. We're gonna just go ahead and we're simply gonna hit extract. And this is some of the random stuff that comes through my mind sometimes whenever I do all this drawing stuff, and it's without doing any music and all that stuff. All this stuff just comes flooding in like whoosh. So, anyways, with that being said, got the shirt. We're gonna press accept, and we're gonna just leave it at the shirt because what we're simply doing, we're just gonna just simply block this stuff out. Because underneath the kimono and stuff is gonna be baggy pants and all that good old stuff. So now we got that done. Go ahead and we'll make the pants. Doot, doot, doot. All right. Press extract. And we're gonna press accept. And now what we're gonna do, for what you saw before, boop, boop. Going to delete the hidden. We're gonna do the same thing for the shirt. Delete the hidden. Yeah. Delete, delete. So it's gonna have. Let's see. These pants underneath him, they're gonna be just a little baggy. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna draw the bagginess. We're gonna just draw the bagginess, and we're gonna just be like, there. And that way we can make it feel like the pants are part of something, like so. Give it that illusion of bagginess for now. We don't want to go too heavy with it, so we'll just leave that just like that, just like so. Ooh, you guys made it to an hour and 34 with me. I truly appreciate you being here today. This is actually making me feel good knowing that y'all are actually staying here watching, hearing me ramble on about all this craziness and all that good old jazz. Let's see, while doing some art. So there we go. Let's do that. All right. So here goes another random thought. I thought about Tim Curry's freaking what you call it, legend when he was Darkness. He just said Mother Darkness and all that stuff. I always wonder why he said Mother Darkness, right? And then I sit back and I listen to. I was watching Supernatural and they ended up doing Darkness being a lady, and that whole thing with God and Darkness being brother and sister. I'm like, but if that's the case, then why did he? And again, this is one of those things where it's like I say random stuff and go from there. But I think about that stuff like with movie culture and all that stuff, especially when it comes to that kind of, those touchy subjects, like how Supernatural integrated that, and then how Darkness was over here calling Darkness Mother Darkness. You know what I'm saying? I was like, huh. And I was just thinking about that the other day, like, man, that's crazy. But, you know, that being said, okay, so there we go. Now we got the pants. Pants are done. Let's go ahead and we're gonna get the belt. So stretch that out. We'll do the same thing with this shirt. Pull this out like so. Some Didi. Alright, so for now, we're going to just leave that as that. And now what we're going to do, now we got the underbelly, because as you can see, he's got a shirt and stuff underneath there. We're going to draw this whole kimono outfit right here. So we're going to draw the whole gi, and well, I guess this would be a gi kimono, because guys wear kimonos in Japan too, so. But this place doesn't really take place in Japan. It takes place in a far more older version of Japan. That's what's going to be pretty cool about this show. Let's see. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Just do the quick things. So what we're gonna do, we're going to copy it from his body, and we're gonna make that the thick part. All right. Yep. So it's gonna be like a robe almost. Alrighty. We have made it officially to an hour and 40 minutes. This is pretty epic so far. And we're doing this without any music. Thanks very much for listening in and watching everything that I've been doing here today. It's actually really been helping out, like I just said. So, like I just said, if you happen to like and see what's going on here today, please be sure to like, subscribe. And if you happen to have friends, please be sure to bring them over here so they can watch this channel too. That would be freaking awesome. Alright, so let me go ahead and we're going to sit here and we're going to make this jacket thick. Alright, press extract. Alright, we're going to press accept. Alright, so now with the jacket, we're going to just take this, we're going to delete that because we're not going to need it. And let's go ahead and just delete the hidden now. go through and we're gonna pull out all this stuff. Let's pull it all out. There we go. Just like that. And bada bing, bada boom. There it is. And what we're going to do, we're going to drag this down. So we're going to make it feel like it's like, you know, hugged up and slimmed up against them. Oh no, we got a hole here. So if you ever run across this, no worries, it's not going to hurt. We're just going to go through, we're going to delete, and we're going to go back. We're going to go back. We're going to cover that hole right now. So that way we're not going through this. Now we covered that hole. Now we covered that hole. We're epic. There we go. Because remember, if you try to fight with holes and stuff on your meshes and all that stuff, you're not gonna win that fight. You're just gonna get mad. You're gonna be like, I hate life. I hate you guys. I hate the fact that you did this. You're freaking gay. I can't stand it. And you know, just go from there. So you don't want to throw the blame on anybody else. It'll only be on yourself. You'll self-abuse yourself. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start this again. Press extract. Okay, we're good there. And press accept. Now, do it one more time. Alright. Pull this out. And we're like, here we go again. Didn't we just do this part? Yes, we did. And we had to do it again because there was a hole in the jacket. F! And yeah, that's pretty much where you would be at. And we'll go ahead and do this. Pull this out like so. Didn't we just do this part? Yes, we did. And we had to do it again because there was a hole in the jacket. F! And yeah, that's pretty much where you would be at. And we'll do, take that kimono part. Let's look at the reference. Yep, there we go. Hold this down right here. And we'll make this part the up collar. There we go, like so. Just start to block it out. Not too much detail. Don't worry too much about that because that will come a little later. And then take that. Grab the stuff from underneath before we do. We're gonna go through and we're gonna freaking press delete hidden like so, and you're gonna be like, we made this happen. So we'll just pull this out like so. Not too much, just so that way it feels like it's an actual, you know, kimono, the jacket underneath the kimono. You know, it's like gonna be real baggy or whatnot. Press enter or press shift if you ever wanted to shift through mask and all that stuff. Let's see here. Do that. And then we'll shift it. And we'll just leave it like that. And we're gonna press zero mesh. There we go. Ooh, 15 more minutes and we're gonna hit the 2-hour mark. I am so glad I'm entertaining y'all today. This is awesome. Okay, so there we go. This here. Pull this out. Ooh, 15 more minutes and we're gonna hit the 2-hour mark. And then we're just gonna go through and just leave this like this just for now. So now we're going to get that one part, which is the sleeve part, to where it kind of connects like this in a sense. we're doing right now, we're just doing push and pull, basically. Wrap around the form. Make sure that we get the just mind. This is what we call like block out detail. So that way it just you see exactly like where you're gonna be going with this. All right. So now well, we got this done. Let's see. So that way I can look at what we're doing before we finish up, because we want something that's gonna kind of like wrap around, and then there's gonna be a belt that attaches itself. So let's see. This is what we'll do, because we'll fake this. We're gonna do this and get rid of that. It's almost gonna kind of feel like underwear, but it's not quite literally that. There we go. We're going to extract. Press accept. And what we're going to do, we're going to first delete that. Never keep the insides, because remember, when it comes to doing animations and stuff, if you go to do animations and you gotta do extra stuff to make that mess happen, trust me, you'll hate life. I tried doing it with all that extra, and it was all bad. So you take these, pull them out. So same thing here, pull out, pull out. Try to get this as close as we can. And then we're gonna just simply pull this down. Ooh, not too much. Hold on. Before we begin with that, let's make the brush smaller. And these are challenges that us as artists we always faces. How to draw these clothes and try to get it to look as close to the vision as close as possible. And this is what a lot of companies spend like millions and millions of dollars on, is trying to basically make sure all the characters look right, and that's the design and aesthetic that you're going for. And because sometimes they hire these teams of people, and then they be like, oh, this is not what I was envisioning. And it's like, well then, genius, why don't you go ahead and draw and show us what you're talking about, so that way we can get as close as we possibly can to it. Because yeah, a lot of those executives and stuff, they will sit there, holler, scream, and that's even with clients too. They'll holler and scream and straight say, oh, this is not what I wanted, even though you're drawing exactly what it is that they actually want. And then they make you go through the ringer and all that stuff, and be like, oh, I'm gonna make sure that I make sure I make my money stretched thin with this one. Yeah, man, I'm gonna make sure I milk them for everything that he's worth, and all that stuff. And that's how you always get bad clients. And it's disgusting. Trust me, disgusting stuff. Disgusting stuff that you will go through just to make some money. And sometimes it don't even be that much. You went through all that abuse for nothing, and then you sit there and you look, oh, come on, and you're like, why did I waste my time with this douchebag? Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know what field of professions you guys actually have, but just know that that's pretty much what you will go through in this art field. Because everybody thinks that oh, this stuff is made of magic. How did he do it? What do with this? What do with that? And as you can see, I'm like, this is how I'm doing it. And then they get mad, and they're like, no, you need to do it all over again. F all that. Because they're trying to what I would call, I call some of those clients the waste of time clients, because they really didn't know what they want when they first came up to you. You written out their ideas, because this is how I normally do whenever I had clients. I always write out their ideas, make sure that what's written on paper, what we discuss, is exactly what it is. Because when you write something down, that's law, that's documentation. And when you have that documentation, that protects you from them saying stupid stuff like, oh, that's not what I envisioned, even though that's exactly what they envisioned, you know? So always have a notepad, pad, piece of paper, type it on Word document, make sure that it's dated, because when you type it down, it gives them the actual official date. And, they can't say that, oh, this is not what I envisioned. And you have every last detail down to the cookie crumb of what they were talking about. Like, oh, no, this is what you envisioned. This is what you wanted, you know? And pretty much go from there. Let's see. So right now, what we're doing, we're just gonna just block this out. That zero mesh. There we go. Ooh. There we go. Now do this close like this. Boom. I think that should be it right there. Let's see. But remember what I should said, we're gonna fake this out. There we go. See this look. Alright. I'll just pull this up like this. Alright. And let's see here. Then we'll do this up. And what we'll bend this in like this. That way we get that illusion. Alright. 37 minutes, the 3 hour mark before the 2 hour mark, and we got one more hour to go. Let's see here. So just start with this. Divide a couple, and what we're gonna do, we'll make the belt from right here. So that way we get that whole kimono look, or that warrior gi look. I forgot what they call it back then when they had these kind of warrior style, you know, warrior style robe. Okay, we'll call it a warrior style robe. And then we'll put all the cool stuff on there after. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead, give it one last extrude. Boom, and we'll accept that. There you go. We delete the hidden. Alright, and there we go. So keep that there, and now what we're going to do, we're going to emphasize that jacket and make it really huge. Cover over knee, so in that way it has that hard cast. There you go. Just like so. Alright. So what we'll do, move this belt up. And just like that. We will keep it that simple. Hidden. Alright, and there we go. 2 characters done just like that. Boom and boom. Okay. So for now, I think what I'll do, I'll go ahead and do one more character. And this time what we'll do, we'll have on music. But for now, let's go ahead and save this. Always save your work. Those first 2 characters done. This one's from another show. I think I'm going to go ahead and do him next. Yeah, I'll do him next. Alright, so what we do now we got that saved, we're just going to load our tool. Get out of there. And go to basic character. And I use crowd characters, because these are characters that I actually made. Just open. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go from there. We'll start with this one. Alright. Alright, so again from before. Look at our reference. So this guy, he's kind of got like a real soft angular face. It's not too aggressive, but his nose is really aggressive, that's for sure. See, and he's got kind of a square head at the top. He does have high cheekbones. He's got a real pointy nose. Real aggressive guy. for now, this is where we'll stop for this one in particular. I'll stop right here for now. Let me go ahead and I'm just name them real quick. Jin Kasumi. Class criminal. Alright. Save that. And go to our folder. This one. We're going to simply save that just like that. Alright, so now I'm going to move on with. I'm actually going to do some rigs. Yeah, I still stay with the 2016 because I don't really see the need to move up. Everything that's derived from the new version is all because of this feature right here. So I just stay here because I know for a fact that we're not going to really need to do too much with that. I'm going to go open up scenes. Let's see here. Let's start an ancient temple. I'll get to the boards and stuff all in a minute. What we want to do, the NPCs. Okay, yep, this is what we want to do. Alright. If you have any comments or any questions here at this time, please be sure to leave them in the chat and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And basically, this is a different program. So here, this is where you can actually, when you're done with all your characters in ZBrush and all that stuff, you normally transfer them over into this program and actually get them basically to all work in this program and pretty much go from there. So what you're seeing right here now is an actual rig. So this is a rig of the character that I'm working with right now. As you can see, she has the lip controls and all that stuff. I placed them all in here just to get them as close as possible. So that way when you go, because this is for another game that I've been actually working on. It's a game called Future Stars. So basically it's about this bounty hunter that basically has to make difficult choices to either kill or bring the criminals that he arrests to justice. So, and basically it's going to be a superpower bounty hunter game. So you're going to have missions and all that stuff. You're going to have to interact with people on this game and all that stuff as well. Ooh, excuse me. There we go. We'll load this up like so. So right here, I'm gonna start getting a lot of these NPCs and stuff done. So this is just a regular NPC female, regular standard one that you put into the world and just have them move around and give them motion and all that stuff and actually talk and interact with each other. So the NPCs will actually do that on the video game as well. Let's see, so I'll just move this forward here. And this is just so that way I don't get bored with just doing one subject at a time. Because you can and very easily can get bored with staying with one actual game or idea at a time. And it's good to always have your plan A, B, C, D, and E, F, G all put together. So once when you write out everything, and I do have a bunch of written documents and stuff. Once you write out everything, then it's all about just going through and getting done with the extra hard work. Let's see, we got that. Fingers almost done. So what I would do, I would simply just move them up. There we go. here's what I'm gonna do because I'm really hungry right now. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stream a little later. Um, let's see. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here at 2 hours and 10 minutes. Thank you so much for coming by and stopping by my stream today. I truly appreciate it, especially the people that were coming by, visiting in and out. I really truly appreciate that as well. And I will probably be back just a little later on. And yeah, we're gonna do a lot of rigs. We're gonna do a lot of stuff together. And cause yeah, I'm really hungry. I need to eat. My stomach is talking languages to me right now. So I'll be seeing y'all later, and we'll go from there.